think the fight's going to have to go forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mike, I mean, my initial takeaway is, as much as it could be a good fight, this is a dark day for boxing. I mean, we were on the brink. We were right there, right on the precipice of getting a 4-belt Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, only to see this, retired judge from some courtroom or some building somewhere throw a whole.
Oh no! It actually was at his home in Napa Valley. That's where they had the proceedings done.
Crazy. He throws a monkey wrench into the whole sport of boxing, Mike. Because look, I mean,
wow, boxing media calls it a dark day in boxing after Wilder wins the arbitration, canceling Joshua Fury fight. He says, with that news, in light of that news, it's a dark day for all boxing fans. We're going to talk about this and more. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, y'all know what to do. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. I drop daily content, boxing news, the latest and greatest lives, pre- and post-fight breakdowns, and all that. So if you want to be part of the mix, smash the like button. Now, Deontay Wilder, in case you live under a rock, this Monday, it was ruled in his favor that he won a long-standing arbitration battle and mediation process with none other than WBC champion Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, in a post and delete, has now deleted the post, but he had previously made a recording on Sunday, the day before the arbitration was reported to conclude, and he stated that he was fighting Anthony Joshua. Obviously, the next day, all of that came crashing down, and fans were left with the news that Wilder was pushing for a third fight, and the arbitrator believed that he had been given a raw deal and he deserved a third fight. Now, you guys heard the clip at the beginning. That's from Kopp and Pugmire with The Athletic. They were talking about the whole situation and saying it's a dark day for boxing. And all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder, if you listen to their podcast, Deontay Wilder is being villainized because he won the arbitration. This is extremely odd to me that people would take this angle, but I think we know what it is. Some people seem to be very closely tied to Eddie Hearn, and I don't know if they're paid to say whatever or if they just have close relationship with Eddie Hearn, so they want to do his bidding. I'm not sure. But Eddie Hearn, Old Media, Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, everybody involved, this was a huge, major setback. And I knew it would be bad for Old Media, but it's almost at a proportion that's maybe I didn't even estimate. They're seeming to take this Wilder arbitration win very bad. And I think perhaps the biggest thing to take away and the biggest reason is because they counted their chickens before they hatch. As you guys see here, it says done deal. Eddie Hearn confirms Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, quote, is 100% being announced this week after refusing to confirm the bout after Canelo beat Billy Joe Saunders. So for close to a year, about 11 months, we have heard the same parties pitch around the idea of undisputed. Say Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, biggest fight in British boxing history. It's 100%. Look, here's a direct quote for you guys. But I will tell you, it is 100% being announced this week. So at the end of the day, I can understand the hurt, because if you do this much and you look this foolish in the end, then I can understand why you have to save face. But this is ridiculous for boxing media and people to try to villainize Wilder and make him look like he did something wrong because he's pushing for a fight that they claim they don't want to see. If you listen to the reporter, he even told you, he says, although this might be a good fight, this just ruins everything and threw a monkey wrench in the plans and, tisk, 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 shame on Wilder. And you have people who are taking this approach saying it was Wilder who is now, blocked Undisputed and ruined the heavyweight division. All this because Tyson Fury is a liar and you trusted these people when they said that they had a fight done. So despite all the red flags that I was telling you about, despite the irresponsibility that it takes to negotiate a fight, knowing that you have pending litigation, let's type this up for you guys. Despite the fact that you have pending litigation and Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, look, this is DAZN. So this is the network that Eddie Hearn has done a deal with, a long-term deal with, and you see it. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury is, quote, dead in the water, claims Bob Arum. So for some reason, old media is pretending to act shocked like they couldn't see this coming. But this is an interview from April 30th. You guys see it right there. It's a 1-minute read. And Bob Arum told you this. But yet and still, they went along with it. Now, I don't know why Frank Warren and Bob Arum, I don't think they really like Eddie Hearn, or they don't care if he looks bad or if they leave him screwed. You have to look, it goes back. Teofimo was having some kind of issue with Top Rank, and he said he wanted more money. He feels he's a pay-per-view star or whatever. So they went to a purse bid. Top Rank bid, Triller bid. Bob Arum is on record saying he wasn't mad that Triller bid. They're kind of like a outside novelty act, so he's not mad. But he says he was upset that Eddie Hearn bid to try to secure the rights for Teofimo versus George Kambosos. He felt like it was a backstabber move. This is all on record. He says Top Rank also got a email or a memo where they initially had the fight that's coming on this weekend, Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, scheduled earlier in May, like closer to Cinco de Mayo, and that would conflict with Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. So according to Bob Arum and Top Rank, basically they did a favor and took their Undisputed fight, which is a nice fight, right? Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, and they moved it so Canelo can have that date because that was his preferred date. So to see Eddie Hearn bid and try to secure the rights to one of his fighters, knowing that they were having like a dispute or a quarrel, Bob Arum felt the type of way. So maybe this was revenge for Bob Arum, and he didn't care about Eddie Hearn looking stupid in the end because of what Eddie Hearn did in bidding for his fighter, Teofimo. I don't know. But either way, all parties are just as guilty. You see Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn headed for the hills, and they're trying to play the blame game. This is all stuff that I predicted on my channel. That's why you guys got to follow my channel for the latest and greatest. And they're playing the blame game, saying it's all Tyson Fury and their fault. We did our part and we had signed contracts. And I told you, first of all, you don't believe somebody who's had a history of drug abuse. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but is it advantageous? Tyson Fury in general, aside from the drug abuse that he's claimed, Tyson Fury has said one thing and then constantly changed it. He said he's going to the MMA. He said Conor McGregor is going to train him. And then Conor McGregor came out and said, I never even talked to the guy. I don't know what he's talking about. He said he was going to retire. He said he would never fight in the UK. Then he said he's fighting December 5th. So this is absolutely Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn's fault, just the same as it's Tyson Fury's team's fault, because they knew he was in an arbitration. I have all the videos up, the video proof, where I was making videos saying, hey, how you going to disregard the arbitration? Now you hear Leonard Ellerby, he did a recent interview Shout out to him. And he says, yeah, they just totally overlooked the arbitration. Now they're in the mess that they're in. So Joshua's complicit, Eddie Hearn's complicit, and they're looking for answers, and they're looking for a patsy. And it is just sad. Tyson Fury also in this picture, he was in Dallas for Billy Joe Saunders' fight, and he did Eddie Hearn's podcast. So maybe Eddie Hearn thought whatever they talked about behind the scenes or that fight week for Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, maybe he thought they had an understanding. But once again, this is what happens, like I try to warn, when you're dealing with a guy like Tyson Fury. He's erratic, he changes his mind, he says a lot of things, and you got to be prepared for that. So all the guys involved in the Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua failed fight look horrible, and now you see media, you see the media all trying to blame, like especially the media that's tethered to Eddie Hearn and Rematch Room, now trying to blame Deontay Wilder because they got it wrong. I didn't get it wrong. I told you this was happening. You know, you can't disrespect a legally binding process and an arbitration and schedule a fight. That's irresponsible to do. It's irresponsible. It's like, why don't you, at best, even if you were gonna do that, do it behind the scenes. Don't make it a public issue and promise a fight in Saudi Arabia, and then you wouldn't look dumb in the end in the event. But Eddie Hearn, all in the video. Any artists want to remain artists, don't want to worry about the executive producer, the promoter, all in the video, dancing. He couldn't stay away from that limelight, that spotlight. Eddie Hearn wants to be seen, and this is the casualties of that. Now he looks foolish. Now DAZN looks foolish. Now old media looks foolish, because guess what? ESPN just reported Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury verbally agreed to fight again July 24th in Las Vegas. And now everyone's like, oh, this is ruined. Wilder ruined all the plans. No, you ruined the plans by believing known liars and just bypassing and thinking the battle was won when Wilder had him in court. That's the real L. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Use my link to get the fight this weekend, ESPN Plus, Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, Undisputed. Use my link for ESPN Plus or get the bundle. It does help the channel.
Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.